The greatest freestyle I've ever seen in my life is Proof.
What if one unbreakable friendship could turn the gritty streets of Detroit into the epicenter of a hip-hop revolution? What if that bond not only launched one of the greatest rappers of all time, but also created a crew that defined raw, unfiltered rap? Today, we're diving into the life of Proof, the heart and soul of D12, Eminem's closest ally, and a legend whose story is as tragic as it is inspiring. Stick around because this is more than a biography. It's a tale of hustle, loyalty, and legacy that every hip-hop fan needs to hear. Let's rewind to October 2nd, 1973, in the heart of Detroit, Michigan. DeShaun Holton, better known as Proof, was born into a world that was anything but easy. Raised by his single mother, Sherilyn Pepper Holton, in a city plagued by economic struggles and violence, Proof's early life was a classic underdog story. Imagine growing up in a place where factories were shutting down, neighborhoods were crumbling, and opportunities felt like distant dreams. That's Detroit in the 70s and 80s, a tough crucible that forged resilient spirits like Proof's. He attended Gesu Catholic School as a kid, where he got a taste of structure amid the chaos, before moving to Osborne High School on the east side. But school wasn't his only education. The streets taught him survival, and music became his escape. Proof fell in love with hip-hop early on, scribbling rhymes and freestyling with friends. It was like finding a superpower in a powerless world, words that could battle back against the odds. By his teens, he was already making waves in Detroit's underground scene, earning nicknames like Big Proof and Dirty Harry for his sharp, dirty punchlines. Proof didn't just dip his toes into hip-hop, he dove headfirst. In the mid-90s, he linked up with local talents to form groups like The Chromatic and 5 Elements, honing his skills in ciphers and open mics. But his real breakthrough came when he started hosting freestyle battles at the legendary Hip Hop Shop, a spot that was like the Coliseum for Detroit rappers. Picture this, a cramped store on 7 Mile Road, packed with hungry MCs spitting bars under fluorescent lights. Proof was the gladiator king, organizing events that drew crowds and built reputations. It was here that he helped assemble what would become his most iconic crew, D12, short for Dirty Dozen, originally meant to be 12 members. It settled at 6: Proof, Eminem, Bizarre, Kuniva, Con Artis, Mr. Porter, and Swifty McVeigh. D12 was like a dysfunctional family, chaotic, loyal, and brutally honest. They represented Detroit's grit, blending horrorcore vibes with street humor, and Proof was the glue holding it all together. Now let's talk about the friendship that changed everything. Proof and Eminem, real name Marshall Mathers, didn't just meet. They grew up in the same rough neighborhoods, crossing paths as kids before truly connecting in the hip-hop world. Eminem was this skinny white kid from the trailers, battling personal demons and poverty, while Proof was the charismatic force already making noise. Proof saw potential in M and became his mentor, dragging him to the hip-hop shop to battle. Imagine Eminem, nervous but fired up, stepping into that ring for the first time. Proof hyped him up, saying, "Yo, just spit what you got." That encouragement sparked a brotherhood deeper than blood. They were inseparable. Proof was Eminem's hype man on stage, his confidant off it. When Eminem blew up with the Slim Shady LP in 1999, Proof was right there, celebrating and collaborating. Proof even served as best man at Eminem's wedding to Kim in 1999. Their bond was like Batman and Robin, but in rap. Eminem the lyrical genius, Proof the street-savvy strategist. Eminem later said, "Without Proof, there would be no Eminem, no Slim Shady, no D12. That's how tight they were." Proof was M's rock, the one who kept him grounded amid fame's madness. Riding the wave of Eminem's success, D12 dropped their debut album Devil's Night in 2001, packed with hits like Purple Pills and Fight Music. It went platinum, putting Detroit on the map. Their follow-up, D12 World in 2004, topped charts with tracks like My Band, showcasing their wild energy. But Proof wasn't just a group member. He shone solo too. In 2004, he released the mixtape I Miss the Hip Hop Shop, a love letter to his roots. Then came his full album, Searching for Jerry Garcia, in 2005, named after the Grateful Dead frontman, symbolizing Proof's quest for deeper meaning amid the hustle. It featured collabs with big names and showed his versatility, raw bars, storytelling, and introspection. He also founded Iron Fist Records to uplift Detroit artists, mentoring the next generation like a big brother passing the torch. Tragically, Proof's story took a devastating turn on April 11, 2006. At 32, he was at the CCC Club on 8 Mile Road, a spot infamous for late-night drama. What started as an argument over a pool game escalated into gunfire. Proof was shot in the head and back, pronounced dead on arrival. The bouncer, Mario Etheridge, claimed self-defense after Proof allegedly fired first at his cousin. It was a senseless end to a life full of purpose, highlighting the violence that still plagued Detroit. Eminem was shattered. Losing his best friend was like losing a limb. At Proof's funeral, M stood by the casket, tears in his eyes, saying, "Proof loved people and people loved him." He was a people magnet. The loss plunged Eminem into deeper addiction. He relapsed hard, overdosing on methadone in 2007. It marked a dark hiatus in his career, but he channeled the pain into music. Tracks like Difficult, a raw, unreleased tribute, and You're Never Over from Recovery poured out his grief. You're the reason I believe in life. D12 struggled too, releasing mixtapes but never recapturing the magic without their leader. Proof's death was a turning point, forcing M to confront his demons and emerge stronger. Proof's legacy lives on like an eternal flame in hip-hop. He wasn't just a rapper. He was a connector, a mentor who shaped Detroit's scene. Through Iron Fist and his battles, he launched careers and kept the underground alive. His mother founded the Proof Foundation to preserve his memory via music and community events. Today, artists credit him for inspiring authenticity. Proof proved that loyalty and grit could conquer anything. He's remembered not for his death, but for the life he infused into rap. Raw, real, and revolutionary. If Proof's story hit you like it did me, reminding us of the power of friendship and perseverance, smash that like button. Subscribe for more deep dives into hip-hop icons, and drop a comment below. What's your favorite Proof moment or D12 track? Let's keep his spirit alive. Thanks for watching. Peace out.